Michelle. I'm Michael's wife. I've been helping a little bit on the train set, and so far, Michael's done the hard part. I don't like doing that because it's just a little bit hard for me, and it's just not my craft. So, but I do love trains, and I do love to make other things. Like, for example, I made this bridge out of my wood that I have. And Michael wants me to make another bridge similar, but a little bit more angled to go across this side of the river. So what he did, he made a cardboard stencil, but he changed it up a little bit because when you're making a train layout, you change your mind a lot. So he drew me out a stencil out of paper of what he kind of wants or has in mind for the bridge. It seems like it's going to work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Michael's stencil and get my wood, and I'm going to trace it out on my wood, and then I'm going to cut it out with my X-Acto knife. So follow me. I'm back. So what I have here is Michael's stencil, and I have some balsa wood, which is really thin, and this is what I used on the other bridge. So what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put my stencil onto my wood, and then I'm going to trace it out with a pencil, and then after that I'm going to cut it out with my utility knife. I cannot find my X-Acto knife at the moment. So utility knife works just right. So I'm going to try to get the stencil on the wood so I don't take up a lot of my wood, because I might need to do another project on the train board. So I use less wood as I can, basically. So I just kind of trace it out as best as I can with a pencil. And balsa wood's really, really soft, so I gotta be careful. But it's lightweight, and I thought it would be good to make a bridge. But like I said, it's very soft wood, and it breaks really easy. Okay, so I have drawn out the stencil that Michael gave me, which is like so. Alright, now that I got my stencil drawn onto the wood, I'm going to take my utility knife very carefully and just cut where I traced the stencil. And this balsa wood cuts very easy, so that's why I like to use it. So I don't have to use my squirrel saw. It just makes it a lot easier and faster. There's that. And then I'm going to go over here, do this side, and voila. So there's a little tiny piece I need to cut off right there. I just take the knife and just cut it off. So that's what the stencil looked like. It's not real straight, but that's what the stencil looked like. So I'm going to go over it with Michael to make sure it's going to work. And if not, I will cut out another one to make it work. So I will be back to show you what I'm going to do next. But this is the bridge bottom. Hello, I'm back. So the last video I cut out the bottom of the bridge, which is this. Got a little paper on this. Just peel it off. There's the price tag. I don't think it matters, but it matters to me. I like it nice and clean. Just peel it right off. Okay. Okay, what I did, I made little footers. I call them. I don't know if that's the correct word for them. But Michael helped me cut these out because I haven't done the angle bridges yet, so I wasn't quite sure how he wanted it. So anyway, he cut these out for me. So what I'm going to do is make sure I get them on the right side. Let's see how he had these. Okay, that's one that goes like so. I just got to make sure I get the right one's on the right side first. I think that's how he had it. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just use some wood glue. And I'm going to glue these down. And get them on right to the edge. And let that dry. Make sure they don't come off. Do the next one. I love doing crafts. Keeps my mind busy. Alright, match this one up. Glue it down. Alright, I was telling Michael, my husband, I was telling him that I grew up with trains, so this is nothing new to me. I love trains, and this is really cool that we're making one in our house. But anyway, to the next video. I will let this dry, and then I will show you what I'm going to do next. Hello everyone, this is Michelle here, and I'm going to show you how I'm making the railings for bridge number 2. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you when I was making the first bridge, I had to get inventive because we didn't have much money at the time. So I've been watching the train videos with my husband Michael, and I've been seeing that people have these little things, which is called handy hands, I think, if I remember right. But it's got the little magnifying glass and the little clips so you can hold whatever you're working on. So, but before I had that, I got inventive. So I kind of just rigged up my own, which worked perfectly. I just hot glued 2 clothespins, and I'll show you an example. It did the job perfectly for what I needed it for. So kind of like that. So, but today I'm not going to use this one because I had a little extra spending money, so I went ahead and bought one of these. They're $10 at Hobby Lobby, and this is very, very handy. So, alright, today I'm going to show you how I put the railings on bridge number 2. So what I did was I cut out my railings out of my balsa wood, which I have 2 here. And this is an angled bridge, so I had to do a little different than the other bridge. So I angled up the sides enough to match evenly, and then I cut one of the bottom out, and then I cut the top out. But always make sure they're even, so it's gonna look okay. Alright, today I'm going to show you how to put the little, I guess they're called planks, right babe?
Railing supports.
Railing supports. Alright, so I'm going to put these on temporarily, just to get me started here. I'm going to start at one end. You can just go like that. Alright, I'm going to put this out of the way. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take my little measuring stick, or ruler, and what I did on the other railing, here, let me go grab that other railing so I can show you what I did. 1 second. Alright, so earlier I made the other side railing, and I tried using my model glue to glue the planks on, but it just wasn't working. So I ended up having to use my glue gun. It looks a little sloppy, but I will fix that later with my X-Acto knife. And they're not real even, but I can always take them off and put them on straight. But that was the first side, so it's going to go on like that with the bottom plank on this side. So you kind of get the idea of what it's going to look like. Alright, so moving on to side 2. Okay, what I did starters is I took my measuring stick, and I already marked the area where I need on my ruler here. And so what I did was I started at the one end I was going to start at, which is over here. And what I did was just go on down the line and just make little marks to where I want my planks to go. I'll just do a few so you can get the idea, and so I can start gluing. Just kind of approximate. There we go. Okay. Let's see. All right. So what I did next is I cut some planks out of this balsa wood. I will show you how I did that. I cut one out to the measurement that I needed. They're really tiny. If you can see that. I could put it on my little pliers if that'll make it easier, so you guys can see. But that's how tiny I made them. So what I did, I cut one out to my measurement, and then I put it down, take my pencil, and I just line it up with the wood perfectly. And then I just make little marks, and then go down the line, make it even, so you don't get none taller than the other. Okay, I'll do one more, because I already cut some out, so it'll make it a little faster. Make this even. Okay, so next step is I take my X-Acto knife and I cut each line that I made. But move that out of the way. Very important. If you don't want to go searching around on your floor, hold them while you cut, because they will go flying. Just even it up. All right, there's 3 of them. Okay, and then I just have this little container which I cut some earlier. So I'm going to leave some out on my board so I can just grab them in a hurry, because the hot glue will dry fast. All right. Okie dokie. Now, my next step is get my little board up here, my little plank. And what I did last time was just go down the line where I made a mark. I'm going to grab one of the planks first, and when you have them in your finger, make sure they're all lined up the same direction, or the same width, otherwise it'll look kind of funny. Alright, I just do a little dab. And I want to do one at a time. There we go. There's one, and I'm going to go put one right here. Very important to keep them all the same direction. And just kind of make sure they're sitting straight. Alright, and there's that. And so what I'm going to do is just keep on going down the line. And that's pretty much all I'm doing on the railings, or how I'm doing the railings. I'll make one more. Let's see, where's my line? Grab my little plank. Oh, my glue stick fell out. Okay, where's my line? Just want to use a little bit of hot glue, otherwise it looks pretty tacky when you're all done. Alright, hello, I'm back. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to put the bottom of the railing on top of the little planks, wood slats. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on my helping hands. This thing is so handy.
Handy. She's going to be making all the kits for the train layout. All the buildings.
Okay, so very important, I'm going to make sure I'm putting little numbers on these just to make sure they go on the right sides. Because the one side is just off just a little bit, and it will make a big difference, and it'll mess you up. So, okay, this is gonna go like that. And then I want to make it the same direction, because see how these are angled? Because the bridge is angled. So I want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction as the bottom one. Okay, so that's about how it goes. Okay, and now I am ready to glue. So I'm just going to go and put glue in random places, just so I have a good secure fit, like maybe every second one. And then you gotta hurry, because make sure it's lined up. The hot glue will harden up pretty fast. All right, so that's that. All right, now I can go in after that's hard enough, and I'm just gonna glue these two on this other side, just so I have it secure. And then, oh, darn it. Well, okay. So I didn't work fast enough, so I gotta remove this glue. So I'm gonna do a little different. I wanna make sure I get a good hold. Working end scale is really tiny, but it's so cute. I grew up with HO. So this is a really fun to make little tiny things. Okay, so this has to come off. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just reheat these. It'll melt. I'm doing a little different. I'm going to just heat up these. Okay, I'm gonna work fast. Okay, same direction. If this doesn't work, might have to do a little different. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it a different way. I'm gonna have to turn it over and glue it from the bottom. So you learn from your mistakes. All right, I think I got it figured out. All right, so I'm holding it in place the way I put some random spots of glue just to keep it secure. It's being a pain. All right, let's see if that works. I'll go and get all the strings from the glue, but later. I just want to make sure it's holding, and so it's even. Ah, perfect. Okay, so I gotta turn this over, get this side, make sure it's even. And I can always go back with my X-Acto knife and cut some of the excess glue out of there. Make sure it's nice and secure. Go on this side. Just want to make sure it's even. Okay. All right, now you can put the camera down. I can move it so I can see, or they can see. All right, baby. That's about all I did at the last one. All right, folks. That's how I did the first bridge railing.
Can we glue it to the side of the bottom thing here, so they can see what it's going to look like?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's secure a little better. I'm back. So I'm going to take these little clamps off my railing, and now it is ready to be glued on to the bridge part. Okay, Okay, I gotta look at my number. There's number 1, so it goes on this side. I want to line it up so it's right on the edges. Alright, so what I'm going to use for this part is just a little dab here and there, just to make sure it's secure, just mainly on the edges. And then I'm going to go back with the Elmer's glue and then secure it permanent like. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, like that. It's a little messy, but I will clean it up. All I have to do is just take my X-Acto knife and get the bigger clumps of the glue off of there. No problem. Alright, well, if you'd like to see more of what I'm doing with the bridge, come on back. Have a good day. And please, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.